Good day, guys. Let's talk about challenges faced by green marketing. Green marketing challenges, all right? So, does consumer perception on green products and their environmental literacy translate to corporate strategies? Well, what is your answer? Do you agree? Yes, or do you disagree? For me, I agree on this. Yes, I do agree because it is only from the consumer perception and their environmental knowledge that the corporate strategies can be formulated by companies. And Because of this consumer perception, um, it involves the theory of the consumer buying behavior. The first stage of the consumer buying behavior, of course, is that there should be a need recognized, there is a problem identified. The next stage will be the search for information. No? The third one is alternative choices. The next one will be the purchase, and the last one will be the post-purchase. So when we talk about consumer perception, we also talk about the consumer buying behavior. Again, yes, I do agree that in order for companies to strategize, they have to first conduct a customer analysis and competitor analysis, but particularly for green marketing. Yes, I do agree that consumer perception on green products should be evaluated. Next is when did businesses use green marketing as a corporate strategy? We have cost and differentiation. So when it comes to these two reasons for using green marketing, it can be used for long-term cost advantage or as a way to differentiate the product in the market. Therefore, cost and differentiation are two reasons for favoring environmental compliance. As marketers, we first try to understand consumer perception. In the case of green marketing, it is important that we first understand how current consumers perceive the organization in relation to their environmental compliance. Uh, The next slide talks about role of the consumer buying intentions. Consumer buying intentions is also synonymous to consumer buying behavior. There are how many? There are six: corporate perception, environmental protection, price and quality perception, product dimension, product labels, and customer past experience. Let's talk about corporate perception. Consumers' perception on an organization, corporate strategies in relation to their perception on green products, and the second attribute is fit. Corporate perception, the opinion of the consumers on the environmental sensitivity of the firm is shaped by their knowledge and understanding of the corporate strategies shown in the business decisions made. Therefore, the task of marketing is to reconcile consumers' perception of both the green product benefits and the corporate practices apparent to the consumers. If the company suffers from credibility in the minds of the consumers, the green product may also suffer credibility problems regardless of the environmental benefits of a product. We try to determine the fit, between the product and the corporate perception. The next is environmental protection. When In terms of environmental protection, It refers to consumers' perception of the environmental compliance as merely a strategy of caution rather than a competitive advantage. Consumer thinks that businesses comply with the environmental mandates merely to avoid legal penalties, like what happened to Holcim Cement that I was giving an example. The next is price and quality perception. Uh, it refers to the price consumers are willing to pay for green products. Where is the green product on the price benefit map? The early challenges green marketing face is the reluctance of the consumers to pay a higher price for green products. Many businesses failed to identify the suitable market segment for green products, while the consumers of the mainstream non-green products have not shown a clear connection between their environmental concern and purchase intentions. Relatively, consumers to pay for green products and the price threshold we keep to ourselves. Failure to include trade-off attributes into the equation. And again, the most important buying criteria is price, convenience, and value. That is in chronological order. Um, for consumers to consider green products, the most important buying criteria are price, convenience, and value in that order. Uh, let us give a very concrete example here. In the early years of environmental technology like light emitting diodes (LED) lights or inverter cooling systems you see in air conditioning units, the window type, refrigerators, alright. These appliances made from this technology were marketed as products that are good for the environment. So the strategy of the company was good for the environment. The marketing collaterals like brochures, featured product stickers, posters, and publicity lengthily relate the benefits of technology to the environment. These products failed to capture the market. Why? Because consumers only view these products as a costly alternative to benefits, which the future generation will experience. So the 21st century saw the need to redefine. So they think tank, they analyze, they made continuous improvement, yeah, to redefine the way to market environmental technology and simplifies the communication back into significant reduction of the electric bill and longer service life. So this was the improvement done. No? These product benefits are found to be important to the consumer's mind. Today, light emitting diodes or LED lights and inverter cooling systems are preferred regardless of the much costlier price because the product benefit is relevant and practical to the present consumers. Now, if we go back to our LED lights and inverter cooling system, the relative high price is traded off or traded with the convenience of long-term reduction in electric bill and longer service life of the product. This brings us to the need of influence consumers first by saying or by using the product core benefit, which is lower electric bill and longer service life, and then emphasize the social benefits the product are good for the environment. When consumers or customers consider shifting from mainstream non-green to green products, they first consider the functionality of the product. Does it work, or the product core benefits? Only after considering the product core benefits will the consumers ask, is it safe, or the social benefit of purchasing the green product. Until then, consumers will always prefer the mainstream non-green or products they have been using. So uh, it is very important also to correlate the three product level: the core product, the actual product, and the augmented product. So we have two marketing concepts: the consumer buying behavior and the three product levels. Let's go to product dimension. Product dimension influence consumers using product core benefit and social benefit. Product dimension refers the failure of marketers to include trade-off attributes into the equation. So that said, marketers should always think tank that consumers prefer buying the benefit of the product and not the product itself. So it is very important, you as marketer, to try to think of what is the solution of my product to these green consumers, and then they will consider primarily the benefit of the product. Let's go to this a comparison of the consumer buying intention. So preferably, consumer will ask in their mind, does it work? So they talk about the functionality, and you talk about the product or benefit. What is the solution of the product to their concern, to their need, and the social benefit follows. No, is it safe? The packaging, primarily the disposal, the type of material used, the cost associated to it. Let's go to product levels. Product levels. When we talk about product levels, these are the basic marketing communication tool. It is used to inform or communicate the benefits and characteristics of the products. In green products, labels include the use of environmental symbols. Sadly, many of the environmental logos are unfamiliar to the consumers. Too many information confuses the consumers. Instead, educated the consumers on the environmental standards the business are complying with, instead of merely adding a logo on the product label. So the essence of product label is that there is a need for company to educate the trust of the company with regards to environmental compliance, and the need to explain what are these environmental logos symbolic meaning to them. So these are typical examples of the different icons or symbols used by companies with regards to environmental or product labels. So again, the need is awareness and education to the consumer. In reality check, consumers are skeptical to buy green products, although they show preference over them due to lacking awareness on environmental regulations. So in other words, if you want to influence the mind of the consumer, you sell the benefit, social benefit follows, and you also educate the consumers on your environmental advocacy and what the logos or symbols say about these environmental symbols. Let's go to the customer's past experience. When we talk about customers' past experience, it refers to the product specific experiences. In marketing, we teach you to deliver the product promise because product specific experiences remain the basis for a post purchase or value delivery. It is interesting to note how consumers assess green products. They do so by assessing the company that is selling the products. The following are consumer assessment and their expectation on the organization selling green products. One example of an assessment is consumers are certain that businesses will never compromise profitability. The expectations will be none. Another assessment could be consumers view government regulation inadequate. Uh, Probably the third assessment will be consumer past experiences with the product and loyalty to mainstream product have nothing to do with consumer perception of price sensitivity and quality. The expectations from this assessment is that green products are safe without paying a premium or higher than their alternative products from the mainstream. The next assessment would be product labels are inaccurate and difficult to understand. The expectation could be full disclosure and education on environmental regulatory parameters. No? And the last assessment could be consumers expect product innovation that are beyond mandatory legal requirements. And what are the expectations? It's the orientation of organizational culture motivated by the desire to build strong competitive advantage, create and maintain positive and ethical corporate image, gain and benefit from the support of the employees, meet customers' expectation, improve market share, and achieve longer time profit potential. Another important consumer buying behavior that you must remember is that there are two dimensions of environmental involvement. Environmental consciousness, cognitive dimension, and environmental concern, and emotional dimension. Uh, Let us, in this slide, it's an interplay of consumer perception variables and the correlation, whether that is a negative correlation or there is a significant correlation. Here you can see that consumer past experience and consumer perception on green products has a positive correlation. And then So here, this is the cognitive dimension, which is the environmental consciousness, and the emotional dimension, which is the environmental concern. No? The choice of environmental involvement depends on cost-benefit analysis, such as the focus of control or the amount of controllable variable in the process of changing products from the mainstream non-green to green products, personal norms or affinity, with nature or personal motivations to be actively part of the environment. Actions which is defined by our values, culture, and beliefs. Human love of nature as a mainstream or as a mechanism to motivate our conviction to protect the environment or our personal environmental advocacies. Keep in mind that we have reached the point where stakeholders are searching for tangible or visible improvements in the environment as a result from years of producing green products and redesigning business process. Additionally, green products innately lack immediate individual benefits if marketed using only the social benefits, evoking positive emotions or providing the warm glow feeling when purchasing green products or taking part in environmental activities and programs are insufficient buying benefits. Focus on the core benefit of the product. Anyway, the social benefits will always have space in the mind and heart of our consumers because of people as members of the natural environment have a universal desire to feel one with nature. Consumers will always search for functional benefits before the social benefits. It is important that green products are designed according to consumer preference and expectations. Choice of environmental involvement, as discussed, is the locus of control, personal norms, or affinity with nature, human love of nature as mechanism to motivate their conviction to protect them, as mentioned from the previous slide. Green product attributes, the tangible or visible improvements in the environment, no? Lacking immediate individual benefits from green products. So, consumers are really looking for the functionality, the benefit of the product, and the social benefit will follow. Green marketing evokes positive emotions, no? The warm glow of giving to the nature, the universal desire to feel one with nature, as mentioned in the previous slide. Alright guys, here's the assessment exercise. So you can see in the instruction that you are required 250 words. But what is important here is the rubric that I'm going to give for, of course, resourcefulness, how far and the extra mile that you will put to, get your resources in the internet, no, as references, and also your comprehension. Do not copy paste. You must say it in your own words, okay, about your reading. So basically, it's your opinion on barriers to success of green marketing in the 90s, and then you discuss the role of CSR of businesses in creating and delivering tangible benefit to consumers. And the next is create your green product attributes. No, what is your wish list for your green product attributes? Okay, so I think you should send this assessment in the school book. Okay, as a PDF file. Okay. I will put the due date of this one in the school book. All right, thank you.